What if the money you needed tomorrow was already being earned right now, while you are sleeping? Not from a lottery. Not from luck. Not from a get-rich-quick scheme. But from a quiet system you built. A system that runs with or without you. Most people will work 5 days a week for 40 years and still end up financially stressed. Not because they were lazy. Not because they lacked talent. But because no one ever taught them the one skill that actually creates lasting wealth. Building assets that pay you forever. Today, that changes. In this video, you are going to learn the exact principles that separate people who are always chasing money from people who have money chasing them. Simple, honest, and globally applicable lessons, no matter where in the world you are watching from. So before we go any further, go ahead and drop the word assets in the comments right now. It tells me you are serious about taking control of your financial future. And I read every single comment. Let us get started. Here is a question most people never ask. If you stopped working today, not forever, just for 60 days, what would happen to your life? For most people, the honest answer is scary. The bills would keep coming. The rent would not pause. The stress would multiply. Because for the majority of working professionals, income is directly tied to presence. You show up, you get paid. You stop showing up, the money stops too. This is what I call the income trap. And it is not your fault. You were trained into it. From school to your first job, the message was always the same. Work hard, earn your salary, repeat. That model worked for previous generations in a different world. But today, that model is leaving millions of people financially vulnerable, one health issue, one job loss, one family emergency away from financial collapse. The wealthy figured out a different model. They do not just earn income. They design income. They build systems, assets, and structures that keep producing, even when they are not in the room. That is the shift we are making today. Comment the word freedom below if this is resonating with you. Because your first step to financial freedom is simply recognizing the trap exists. Now let us get precise about something. Because this word gets misused all the time. What is a real asset? A real asset is anything that puts money into your pocket consistently, without requiring your physical presence every time. That is it. Simple. A real asset could be a rental property collecting monthly rent. It could be index funds or ETFs paying you dividends. It could be a digital product you created once and sell thousands of times. It could be a YouTube channel earning ad revenue every day. It could be an online course teaching your skills to people around the world. Notice what these all have in common. You do the work once, or you invest the money once, and then the asset keeps working on your behalf. Now contrast that with a liability. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket regularly. A car that costs you insurance, fuel, and maintenance every month. A luxury subscription you rarely use. A loan on something that does not earn you anything. The single most powerful financial question you can ask about anything you are about to buy is this. Is this going to put money into my life, or take money out of it? If you can start filtering every major decision through that question, you are already thinking like a wealth builder. Now, what kind of assets do you currently have, or are thinking about building? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know where you are on this journey. There are 3 categories of assets that the wealthiest, most financially stable people in the world rely on. Not just one. All 3, working together. Pillar 1. Assets that generate cash flow. These are the ones that send money to you on a regular schedule. Rental income from property. Dividends from stocks or ETFs like those tracking the S&P 500 or ESG screened funds. Revenue from a digital product or online course. Ad revenue from a content platform. Affiliate income from a trusted recommendation. Cash flow is freedom. It is the income that arrives whether you are working that day or not. Pillar 2. Assets that grow in value over time. These are assets where the asset itself becomes more valuable the longer you hold it. Real estate in growing areas. Index funds held for decades. A personal brand or content library that keeps attracting new audiences. Digital intellectual property that gains traction over time. Appreciation is patience rewarded. You do not feel it day to day. But over 5, 10, 20 years, it changes everything. Pillar 3. Assets that protect and stabilize what you have built. Gold, government bonds, diversified index funds, cash reserves. These are not exciting. But they are the reason wealthy families stay wealthy through recessions, market crashes, and global uncertainty. Think of it as a three-legged structure. Cash flow gives you freedom today. Appreciation builds your wealth tomorrow. Protection makes sure both survive the storms in between. You do not need to build all three overnight. But you do need to start somewhere. Let me know in the comments which of these three pillars you want to focus on first. Cash flow, appreciation, or protection. I will reply and help you think through your first step. Now here is where the 21st century changes the game entirely for people like you and me. Not long ago, building real income-producing assets required significant capital. You needed savings to buy property. You needed connections to start a business. You needed credentials to get paid for your expertise. Today, something remarkable has happened. Technology has removed almost every traditional barrier between you and building assets. You can create a digital product, an ebook, a template, a course, a guide, using knowledge you already have, and sell it to people in London, Lagos, Los Angeles, and Lahore, all at the same time, from a single laptop. You can invest in fractional shares of S&P 500 ETFs or ESG screened funds for as little as $10 to $20 a month. No stockbroker required. No minimum balance of thousands. You can build a YouTube channel around a topic you understand deeply, and once it crosses certain thresholds, earn passive ad revenue every single month without filming a new video for it. You can create content once, and let it work for years. This is what I mean when I say the digital age is the great equalizer. It does not care about your background, your city, your degree, or your starting balance. It rewards clarity, consistency, and the courage to create something genuinely useful. And this is exactly what Green Planet Digital is built on. Helping global professionals like you build real, sustainable wealth using both timeless financial principles and modern digital tools. Speaking of digital tools, I am currently building a practical interactive asset builder toolkit. It is designed to help you map out your first income-producing assets, calculate potential returns, and track your progress step by step. If you want to get access to that toolkit when it launches, drop the word toolkit in the comments right now. I will send the link directly to everyone who comments. That is how I do it here on Green Planet Digital. Here is a truth that most people overlook. You are already sitting on a wealth of untapped assets. Your skills. Not just the skills on your resume. The lived experience. The problems you have solved. The shortcuts you have discovered. The knowledge you have accumulated over years in your career, your industry, your daily life. What feels obvious and effortless to you is genuinely difficult and confusing for someone else. And in today's world, you can package that knowledge into something that earns for you repeatedly. A graphic designer can create a template pack and sell it on a digital store forever. A project manager can build a productivity workbook and sell it digitally around the world. A financial professional can create a budgeting spreadsheet tool and let it quietly generate income every month. A teacher can record a short course and earn from every new student who enrolls years after it was recorded. The question is not whether you have a valuable skill. You do. The question is whether you are willing to take the time to package it and make it work for you. Your skills are your most underused employees. They never ask for a day off. They never get tired. And once you package them into a digital asset, they can keep earning for you for years without any additional effort. What is a skill you have right now that you think could become a digital product? Drop it in the comments. I would love to brainstorm with you. Let me tell you the uncomfortable truth about compounding. Compounding is the most powerful wealth-building force in the world. And almost everyone starts it too late. Here is what compounding actually means. When your assets grow, and then the growth itself starts growing, you get growth on top of growth on top of growth. Over time, this creates an almost geometric curve of expansion. But here is the catch. Compounding is invisible in the beginning. In the first year, maybe even the first few years, it looks almost pointless. Your investment grew by a small amount. Your digital product sold a handful of copies. Your content channel gained a modest audience. This is the stage where most people quit. They assume nothing is working. But compounding does not deliver results in a straight line. It delivers results exponentially. The magic happens at the back end of the timeline, not the front. A person who starts investing $200 per month into a diversified global index ETF at age 25 and earns an average annual return of 8% could see that grow to over $800,000 by age 65. That same person starting at age 35, same amount, same return, accumulates roughly $350,000. Same discipline. Same consistency. Same monthly amount. But 10 years of head start makes more than double the difference. This is why the best time to start building assets was yesterday. The second best time is today. You do not need to start with a large amount. You just need to start with a real commitment. Comment the word compound below if this hit home for you. Because understanding compounding is one of the most important financial mindset shifts you will ever make. Now I want to speak to something that makes this channel different. At Green Planet Digital, we believe that the way you build wealth matters just as much as the wealth you build. You can build financial freedom while also making choices that align with your values. Choosing ESG-screened funds and sustainable ETFs over industries that actively harm the planet. Investing in companies with strong environmental and social governance. Reducing your cost of living through conscious, sustainable spending habits, which also accelerates your savings rate. Here is a powerful truth. The biggest barrier to building assets is not income. It is spending. And sustainable living, cooking more at home, reducing subscriptions you do not need, lowering your car usage, choosing durable products over disposable ones, is one of the fastest, most underrated wealth-building strategies available. Every dollar you do not unnecessarily spend is a dollar available to invest in an asset. And when you invest in ESG-screened index funds or sustainable ETFs, you are not sacrificing returns. Studies consistently show that over the medium to long term, ESG-oriented portfolios perform competitively with conventional ones, while aligning with a future-focused worldview. Build wealth. Tread lighter. Live freer. That is what Green Planet Digital is all about. Okay. You have made it this far. Which means you are serious about this. So let me leave you with something actionable. Here are 3 things you can start doing this week to begin building assets. Step 1. Open an investment account if you do not already have one. Whether you are in the US and eligible for a Roth IRA or for 401k, or in the UK with a stocks and shares ISA, or anywhere else in the world with access to a brokerage platform, start a regular contribution, even if it is $20 a week, into a broad market index fund or an ESG ETF. The key word is regular. Consistency beats amount every time. Step 2. Identify one skill or piece of knowledge you have that someone else would genuinely pay to learn or use. Do not overthink it. Write it down. Then brainstorm what format it could take. A template. A shortybook. A simple guide. A workbook. A video course. You do not need to build it this week. You just need to identify it. Step 3. Start protecting your wealth from day one. Before you expand aggressively, make sure you have a small emergency reserve of 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in cash. This is not a glamorous step. But it is the step that keeps you from being forced to sell your assets at the wrong time. These 3 steps are the foundation. Everything else builds on top of this. And remember, if you want my interactive asset builder toolkit to help you map all of this out practically, just drop the word toolkit in the comments. I will send you the link directly. Wealth is not built overnight. It is not built by the lucky or the privileged or the ones who had a head start. It is built quietly, patiently, by people who decide to think differently, act consistently, and let their assets do the heavy lifting over time. You now understand the principles that most people spend decades trying to figure out on their own. You understand the difference between assets and liabilities. You understand the 3 pillars of lasting wealth. You understand why digital assets are the great equalizer of this era. You understand the hidden power of your own skills. And you understand why compounding rewards those who start early and stay consistent. Your journey starts now. Not when things are perfect. Not when you have more money. Not when life gets easier. Now. One decision. One step. One asset at a time. If this video added real value to your financial thinking today, do one simple thing for me. Hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds and it helps more people find this content and start their own journey. And if you want more honest, practical, globally applicable content on building wealth, sustainable investing, and creating digital assets that pay you for life, subscribe to Green Planet Digital right now. Every week I release new videos, new strategies, and new tools designed to help working professionals like you build real, lasting, sustainable wealth. Build wealth. Tread lighter. Live freer. I will see you in the next one.